Speech is power. Speech is to persuade. Speech is power. Speech is to persuade, to convert, to compel. It's to bring another out of the bad sense into your good senses. Let me start by highlighting the very words of Ralph Waldo Emerson. A very graceful and serene afternoon to the galaxy of intellects marking their glorious presence here. Our most valued guest, that is our judge, all our moderators, and beloved participants. Indeed, it's an honor to welcome you all here again for Levitating Podium, an oratory event by Kronicle KIIT, witnessing a gladiatorial combat of brains, demanding an armor of brownie ideas, cognitive ability as a weapon, and of course, strongly knitted constructs.
Chronicle is the literary and debating society under KSAC of KIIT University, being one of the most precious and pioneering societies in literature of KIIT University. It still continues to harness the zealous bliss of young minds through public speaking. And now, Chronicle is all set to present its intra-university annual oratory competition, the Levitating Podium, an extravaganza of public speaking, compromising of devil's advocate and extempore. Now, we have the round two of the levitating podium, the devil's advocate.
So, true guidance is like a small torch in the dark forest. It doesn't show everything at once, but it gives light for the next step to be safe. And here, in Levitating Podium, we have our judge as our guiding light. So let's have a brief introduction of our today's judge. We have Mr. Ashok Pradhan, the Chief of Bureau at the Times of India. He is an alumnus of Indian Institute of Mass Communication, IIMC, Dhenkanal, and has 10 years of experience in journalism. Sir has been the part of International Visitor Leadership Program of the US Department of State. We extend our heartiest greeting to you, sir. We have a great faith in our judge's expertise and we are thrilled by his involvement in this contest. But before taking plunge towards our events, let's have a quick glance at the results of Levitating Podium Round 1 Extempore Speech. The winners of the Round 1 would be competing for Round 2, that is Devil's Advocate. Vikrant, over to you.
So, congratulations to all the winners in the first round. Now, it is your task to go ahead and compete with the best of the best. So, these are all the winners: Shrestha Mitra, Anchal De, Samriddha Narayan, Anubhav Bichara, Vanishka Jaiswal, Milan Kumari Panda, Shubhankar Jaina, Nitish Patnaik, Ashmit Shrestha, Adhyash Satpathy, Abhishek Das, Pratyush Saran, Ashutosh Gautam, Anmol Raj Adrita Ray Chaudhary. Congratulations again. Now, now I'll brief you about the devil's advocate. Devil's advocate is a self-explanatory in the sense that here the participants will have to publicly advocate the devil, meaning the participants will be given a topic that would be very conflicted in nature and will be expected to defend the side of the argument. They have to play the advocate of the devil and defend the controversy itself. The rules are the topic will be given 3 minutes before the speaking time, and 3 minutes will be allotted to each speaker to talk or to defend the topic. The evaluation for the speakers will be done on the three bases: strength of the argument, justification, and delivery. Strength of the argument, meaning that the points you put forward are how compelling. Justification, meaning what are the reasoning given to those points, how are you putting them in chain. Third, the delivery, the style or the way you're speaking. Now, devil's advocate means that the topic which you will be given, you should stick to that topic, meaning that you always have to go for the motion in that topic. You don't have to go any other side. You have to stick to that side and fight to the extremist point, right? So now, without any further delay, let's move on to the first speaker.
Excuse me.
Yes,
I have a question.
yes.
We have to put up the questions too in and motions too, in favor and in against.
No, you have to You have to prove that whatever the topic you're given is right, and you have to stick to that point, and you have to give reasoning as to why this should be done and why this is the right thing to be done.
Will there be any rebuttals?
No, you won't be asked any questions
Okay.
unless the judge wants to ask you questions.
Okay.
The first participant's timer starts now. Please show the first motion.
And who is the first participant? It's according to the list.
Sir, they have got the ID, so they will call sequence.
Right.
Vanchika Jaiswal is the first participant and she has got the topic and she will be preparing it now. After
After
3
that,
minutes,
sir, it will continuous flow like sir.
yes.
3 minutes.
You see, all the topics that are given will be very conflicting in nature. You won't come across these debate topics very often. So it is going to be a very rocky path ahead of you. So keep your thinking caps on. Please show the timer side.
Vanchika, your time is up. Start speaking now.
My name is Vanshika Jaiswal, and my topic is that coronavirus vaccine should not be made. I would like, first of all, good morning to our respected judge. I would like to start my speech with the beautiful words. The world is the best of all worlds, possible worlds, and everything in it is a necessary evil. And I would like to begin my speech with a second quotation. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. Now my topic is that coronavirus vaccine should not be made because the coronavirus has come arises from China. As we all know, we blame China that coronavirus vaccine had been come from the Wuhan Institute of Technology, which is there in China. But I would like to suggest that exactly coronavirus vaccine should not be made because these corona has made all the people had bring all the people, the families who maybe who may never who don't have the time to meet each other. This coronavirus united the all people together. These virus has united the people and the families, the childrens, which may have been far away from each other, which may don't have the time in this busy era to come to have time to have beautiful conversation, to have beautiful time with each other. And the second thing is that the it made the people to have conscience about their own health, about their immunity system. If coronavirus is mainly attacking these people who don't have a strong immune, and there are various ways to make your immune system strong, healthy, your body should be healthy enough to fight against all the viruses, which is airborne or waterborne or any or air, whatever it is. And so how you can make your immunity strong? It's your family. It's your family who started taking care of you more than enough, more than that was earlier. And the third thing is that the vaccine cannot be made as early as possible. And in this era, the people are thinking that vaccine should be made in just 1 year, but they don't know that it's minimum it takes 5 years to make a vaccine. So we cannot. And even the coronavirus is all during the pandemic the people are living their lives happily. They are with their families, they are living, and they are adjusting in the situation, they are managing in the situation, they are adapting the situations as they are adapting the things as they are adapting the worst condition. Even the people learn to adopt the worst condition in this corona pandemic. I would like to conclude my speech that, in fact, the online classes, it's for students. The online business is for job people. So nothing can stop our lives. That not even coronavirus. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vanshika. Now, the next motion is courts should adopt a guilty until proven innocent ideology.
I am LP2 Ashutosh. I will speak on guilty until proven innocent. Uh, before I go on this topic, I would first like you to tell you about a giraffe. You all must think, why is he talking about a giraffe? A giraffe because it has the biggest heart of all animals, the biggest neck of all animals, giving it an incredible vision of others' realities. It shows us to show empathy, compassion, and to embrace others' realities, to show to be tolerant, to stay connected to people whatever happens. And before judging them, let's hear the topic. Okay, so let me go on to the topic. So the topic is that we should go with guilty until proven innocent. This is because what if in the Me Too allegations and the rape conflicts that happens, if the Indian Judicial Court should have gone with the strategy of guilty until proven innocent, I strongly think that we would have better judgments. We would have better judgments because there was a wise man who once said that where there is a smoke, there is a fire. So no allegations are baseless, in my opinions. The journalists that work day and night, they must get some points to put allegations on a person. And it is really tough, believe me, to go against a politician, against a powerful people, and those allegations are not baseless. And that's why Indian judicial system, if it goes by this system, it will have a better way of thinking. It will give us a better view of what is happening. This is because when powerful people are around, they have many contacts. They have contacts deep under the system. So even if a person, an NGO or someone is ready to even probe allegations on a organization, on a strong person, if we go with the strategy of guilty first, so that means that we hold the powerful people in contempt. If we hold them and we tell them that it is not only your power that will tell how the system will go. We will, by this, we will treat everyone as equal. this will also become equality for all, because standing up as a woman in an organization fully filled by men, and every organization is filled by men, and if a woman stands for Me Too movement, that means a lot. And rape conflicts against powerful people, if all would have gone with this strategy of the guilty until proven innocent, see what the world would be. We would be hanging people, we would be giving strong punishments to those people who are not who are powerful. And if, because many a times we see that the evidence is often falsified and it is changed. So that is why I strongly recommend the Indian judicial system to go with this: innocent, guilty until proven innocent. Thank you, and that was my time. Ashutosh.
Thank you, Ashutosh. Now, the next motion is India should fall back under the British Raj.
Good evening, I'm Sreshta Maitra and I stand for the motion that India should go back under the British Raj. I have many valid points as to support this motion. First and foremost, I would actually like to bring forward the apparent aspect of it, where people might be actually thinking that how can we even think for our country to go back to a domination under a foreign rule. But the point is that if we look deeper into it, and if we actually try to analyze what had happened to India during that time and what is the condition of India after that time, we will be very clear of the fact that India did reform a lot during that British Raj. I have many points to support my motion. First and foremost, I would like to speak about the reforms that the British Raj brought about in India. Firstly, I would really like to emphasize on the importance of women and the way people started perceiving women after the British came to India. The women and their positions in India were in a very, very bad state before the British came in India, and due to the appearances of really big parts as like in women figures who were really powerful people in the British Raj as well, people actually started thinking that yes, women are worth something. The second thing that I would like to bring about is the education system in India that got really a pull up when the British came to India due to, of course, pushes from Indian men like Raja Ram Mohan Roy and such people who were actually taking the aid of the British to bring about education in India. It was actually the British who finally implemented this education system in India. And as we know, the roots of education are bitter, but education is so important, as said by Aristotle, that the fruit is really sweet. Education is important for each and every one of us. And I really think that except if the British Raj had not been there, education in India might have never started. The next good thing that came up was the discipline in railway, archaeology, etc. Discipline in India, like India became much more organized and a very disciplined country after the intervention of the British. Of course, they did have negative impacts, but the positive side of it is too much for us to compromise right now. I mean, and also another important point is the punctuality of the British. India is still, we know that 2 hours of delay in railway system is a very common thing for us. But if the British are still in India and if it goes back to the British control, then I think punctuality will be a very important point that India will fall back into. Our times, our timings and our punctuality and everything will fall back in place a lot. And as I also said, that the reforms, namely sati and such evil practices that were happening in India, were ruled out by the British, and it also can't be denied that there are evil practices still continuing. And if it goes back to the British Raj, I think the remaining tidbits in our country which are wrong will also go back to right. Thank you.
Thank you, Shrestha. The next topic is Kim Jong-un should dictate the entire world.
A very charming morning to each one of you present here. I would like to start my speech with a very famous quote. He that wrestles with us strengthens our nerves and sharpens our skill. Our antagonist is our helper, said Edmund Burke. My topic is that Kim Jong-un should dictate the entire world. Does anyone make an easier target than Kim Jong-un? He's Fat Boy Kim III, the North Korean tyrant with a Fred Flintstone haircut, the grinning, chain-smoking owner of his own small nuclear arsenal, and brutal warden to about 120,000 political prisoners, and effectively one of the last pure hereditary absolute monarchs on the planet. He's the marshal of the democratic people's successor and the son of the 21st century. At age 32, the supreme leader owns the longest list of excessive honorifics anywhere, every one of them unearned. He's the youngest head of state in the world and probably the most spoiled. Also, he might as well be wearing his broad bottom a big kick me sign. Kim is so easy to kick that the United Nations, which famously agrees on nothing, voted overwhelmingly in November to recommend that he and the rest of North Korea's leadership be hauled before the International Criminal Court in The Hague and tried for crimes against humanity. But in the world press, he's also a bloodthirsty madman and buffoon. He's said to be drunk, to have become so obsessed gorging on Swiss cheese that he can no longer see people around him, and to have restored bizarre remedies for impotence, such as a distillation to have had his uncle. All of the above is untrue, or perhaps safer to say unfounded. The Jiang Feng dog story was actually invented by a Chinese satirical newspaper as a joke before it began racing around the world as a viral sensation of truth. And to be sure, he did send his uncle Jiang to his death. Despite all this documented horrors of the Stalinist regime, while still in his 20s, Kim has ambitions at home that one might be tempted to describe within carefully defined limits as well as intentioned. What if, against terrific odds, he hopes to improve the life of all his Korean subjects, the North Korea, and relationship with the whole world. He has continued his father's military first policies, and for years, North Korea has engaged in what experts in Washington have called a provocation cycle, lamping up provocative behavior such as launching missiles. But still, he is treating everyone. Yes.
Time over. Thank you,
Thank
Samrid.
you.
Please note that even if you have written a speech somewhere with a pen or paper or on the screen, try not to read it out. And also, you have to defend the topic. You have to stick to the statement which is given to you. All right, that's a reminder. Thank you. Next topic is slavery should be legalized.
Good morning. I am Subhankar Jana, and my topic is slavery should be legalized. So I want to say about the for of the motion. Slavery is a concept which existed earlier during the British times, when British used to control the other parts of this other parts of the world, like the West India countries, like Trinidad and Tobago, as well as the South African countries and Indian and India, when they used to appoint people under them. In slavery, there was a concept that some of these people who are traders or businessmen start to grow their business, or to become millionaire or billionaire, and they used to bring some of these peoples who are lower section of the society, who are either who are either lower caste peoples, or who are poor people, who are not economically financial peoples. So they used to bring these people under them, and they used to work under them in order to grow their business. However, it was considered as a wrong form. It is a wrong form of practice after our independence. But however, and it is completely banned today. But however, I think slavery should again be legalized. This is because during slavery, the owner who is a millionaire or billionaire, or who is a trader, or who is a merchant, who used to slave these peasants or slave these lower sections communities, they generally take care of them very well. They used to take care of their families. They used to take care of their health facilities. Like, if we suppose maintain a machine, if we buy a machine, the machine start to help us in our work, to make our work easier, and we take care of our machine properly. We used to wash them. We used to monitor them regularly. So like that, when the slaves were working for the people, for those merchants or the traders or the business persons, they used to the merchants used to take care of them. And secondly, there is some qualities which the slaves pursued. They were the honesty, that is, they always becomes honest to their masters or to the higher authorities, and they never dared to do corruption or to do any other illegal practices during their working hours. They used to work perfectly, due to which many of these works which the developing works which were ongoing by these contractors or by these traders goes on perfectly, which is now when there is no slavery, the people the people have become independent. They think that even if they don't do the job properly, they would not get this, they would not get the perfect outcome that they deserved. Even the works were not done perfectly. In before, slavery is also a good concept, because when we see that the Britishers has a, if we see various monuments like the Taj Mahal, the pyramids of the Egypt, these were all slaved by some
Can you
some of
kindly
these.
wind up?
So I think these were the monuments which were made earlier, which these monuments were not believed to be today to be made. This is because the kings used to slave the soldiers. The king used to slave these. So I like to conclude my topic by saying that slavery should be legalized, because it brings away more development and brings away the were not present in the society, like the honesty and the discipline of the labor could come back again. So thank you. And
Thank you, Shubhankar. Thank you. We'll go on to the next motion. World peace is a disaster on a global level.
This is LP6, Milan Kumari Panda. My topic is World Peace is a Disaster on a Global Level. Well, this fact is very correct because we try, each and every nation try to attain world peace by the means of arms and ammunitions. Can you believe in countries there is an imposed rule that almost every person of the country should serve for like 3 to 2 years in an army rule? Now tell me, isn't this against the very what world peace has done to this world? We must know that according to karma and according to the laws of this world, someone or the other will always be unhappy, and there's nothing you can do about that. Every time somebody tries to impose this world peace, something goes wrong. For the example of LTTE in Sri Lanka, where India had sent the Indian peacekeeping force, and in that we lost Rajiv Gandhi. So how is world peace attained? By giving guns to small children, or by making soldiers and soldiers and soldiers and branding them that they are the brave sons of the soil? In different geographical conditions, the amount of money that is spent on world peace by United Nations is some $1 billion, which affects the economy of the entire global economy, especially the African countries. And because today there are arms, we have heavy arms and ammunitions like US, China, the Middle East, that's why these countries are not attacked. So how is this world peace in any manner? Cannibalism is a practice which is still practiced in some of the countries. Now that is against most of us, most of the countries. So how do you think will we attain world peace? That is just next to impossible. In the very beginning, the concept of world peace, the peace were thought to be something related to Islam. Islam, each country by country and continents by continents, but the more we step towards arms and ammunitions, killing and mass slaughter and genocide and all of these things. So world peace at a global level is actually disastrous because we come from different cultures and we have our own differences, and there can never be world peace because because as long as we make little children soldiers, 22, 23 years of youth who have the world at their hands, at their feet, we make them soldiers, and all this by under a fake branding that yes, you build the greatest missiles, mission to Mars, and all of this is a disaster because it has nothing but a competition in the end. So world peace is a disaster at a global level. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next motion is the government will allow prisoners to demand trial by combat.
A very good afternoon to everyone. I, Anubhav Behra, will be speaking for the motion. The government should allow prisoners for trial by combat. Genes. Genes make up human society. So therefore, shouldn't be better like we have all the strong genes in the world and weed out the weak? That's exactly will be one step closer through this motion. What is the use of weak genes? There are so many people in the world who have been wrongly accused, and therefore they have an anger, a pent-up frustration built inside them. So with this method, for example, if the accused and the defendant is put in a ring, the accused person will have a greater strength inside him, whereas the guilty will be scared for his life. So why not adopt this system, giving the accuser another chance to prove himself? There's a very famous quote said by a wise man: if you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're doing it wrong. So why not go down this different path? Another famous quote by the famous person is: the peace is maintained in the world with the help of the guy with the bigger stick. Even if the strong person who is accused is wrong in the wrong this case, good for us. We are by killing the other person in combat, we are getting a stronger gene in the world. We are already facing a lot of issues with population, especially in the countries like India and China. If you use the process of trial by combat, even though you're weeding out the weaker people, at the end of the day, you're having stronger genes. Stronger genes means better offsprings. Better offsprings means it's better for humanity. Overthinking the process will kill any career in the creative space. You just not have to think. What I believe is we should just try this process out. Let's see what happens. Anyways, humanity believes in science, and science is all about experimentation. If we do not experiment with this idea, how will we know whether it will be successful or whether it will be a failure? Every time I take these bigger opportunities, that the chance of a bigger payout always rises. Again, this is applicable to this very idea. In trial by combat, another main factor is it was originated in Germany, where this was conducted in absence of a jury or a witness. And as we have seen in India, many people are wrongfully accused because of the absence of a jury or a bigger payout by the person who is it. But in the trial by combat, it's just two people in the ring. No one is there to help you. It's just you and your opponent. So therefore, with the help of the additional strength, with the help of the additional confidence in yourself, I believe you will achieve two things: help towards the innocent, and obviously the survival of stronger genes. Thank you.
Thank you, participant. We'll move towards the next participant, LP08.
Good afternoon, everyone. So this is LP08, and my topic is that Harry Potter should be banned globally. Now, when I come on this topic, first of all, Harry Potter is something that every kid has grown with, watched it throughout his life, and always dreamt that I would one day go to a school that doesn't really focus on studies. Let's be honest, doesn't really focus on studies, but rather focus on how to get good magical spells and how to live your life with magic and how to live your life in a fantasy world. And when you grow up, have some girlfriends too. But in the real world, does something like that happen? According to Chanakya, a child learns 80% of the things till he is 8 years old. I remember I started watching Harry Potter before I was 6 years old. All I'm trying to convey here is when a person grows up with a mentality that the world is a beautiful place, it's a Disney world, and when he really faces the world and sees that it's not at all even an ounce of the similarity of what he has described the world into his head, then his dreams, then his perspective towards the world shatters. And let's be honest, when our expectations and dreams shatter, that's when a person walks into the dark path of depression. And it might not be a great concern in our society. Let's be clear, it's not a great concern in Indian society because here people don't take depression that seriously. But on a global scale, it's a huge, huge, huge concern. And even here also, we are not taking it seriously, but we should. Coming back to my point with Harry Potter, there has been a lot of cases in which kids have died because they tried to fly on their magical broom. But was it really possible? Or was it worth it? Just a movie for somebody's life. Was it worth it? Because that kid could have grown and might have given the world something much more beautiful than Harry Potter. All I'm trying to convey here is it gives people a false hope into unrealistic world and unrealistic friendship, and of course unrealistic school curriculum, which doesn't happen like that. And this leads to drastic things. People go into overthinking, people start living in the fantasy world because the fantasy world is basically much better than the real world. And overthinking is also one of the biggest disorders right now. With all these points on the floor, the only thing that I can conclude with is that Harry Potter should be banned globally because the benefits don't overtake the loss that it causes. Thank you so much. I think that's my time.
Very well, LP08. We'll move to the next participant. We have LP09.
A very good afternoon to the esteemed judge and to all the participants here. I'm Adyasha Satpathy, and today I'm going to defend on the topic that government should fund researches which is aiming to cure homosexuality in the society. So, before I begin, I would just like to say that homosexuality is indeed a problem in our society, and it should be like cured. And I think it should be done by the government because I just came across this article some few days ago that 50 years ago that there was a short article which was written under the headline of homosexuals can be cured, and it reported that people who just underwent this psychiatry therapy got recovered from their homosexuality, what they thought that it was a disease, and they just started behaving just like they were straight. They just started wearing clothes which were kind of very much not extravagant, and they just like thought they just like behaved that they have become straight. Now, if if homosexuality is a disease, so it can be cured by psychiatry, and we today are seeing many people coming out as gay or homosexuals, and that is kind of a very much kind of a shock to us. So that's why I believe that if this can be done through psychiatry, then why shouldn't the government do it? Because if we think that homosexuality is a problem, and in fact if it is a problem in the society, then the government should actually like carry out some methods or do propagate those psychiatric methods in the society so that people get cured of those homosexuality kind of a trend that they are having right now. Like everyone, like recently Lily Singh, who is a very famous YouTuber, she also came out and she told that yes, she is not straight, like she's bisexual, and like that kind of thing is kind of very much prevalent in the society right now. So I think it's also a kind of a trend right now to, and it's I think also it's just like attention seeker for those people who just come out like that and say that yes, I am homosexual and I just don't have affinity to my opposite sex or something like that. So that's why I believe that government should actually work on this. Government should actually like bring out some methods so that psychiatry, like I just told that this man who was a physicist, Samuel Haddon, he had carried out this activity. He carried out this psychiatry method on some people who were just like they were homosexuals, and they after that they started recovering, and they like according to the society they just merged with the society, and they just started behaving just like normal men and women. So that's why if it can be possible, then why can't the government do it? If the government can bring about reforms in the farms, like in the agriculture sector, like it can bring out such contentious laws like the CAA and NRC, then why just can't it do this? So I think government should actually fund those researchers and should curb homosexuality. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot, LP09. We'll move towards LP010. With the motion, female employees should be paid 50% of what a male employee in a similar position would be paid.
We believe in a world where females should be paid same amount as that of men. Yes, we do. And this is 2020. That's what we believe in. But what if the world was not that way? What if females were paid 50% of that as that was paid to men? So good afternoon. I'm Anchal. How are you? I hope it's been great. So today my topic is a little bad one, but I will provide you with all the good points and let me keep you entertained till the end of my speech. So today's topic for me is female employees should be paid 50% of what a male employee is paid. And I guess this is right for some of the professions, and I believe that this is the right statement. Let's talk about sports. We know that in sports, a lot of manual, a lot of physical labor is needed. And in some of the sports, women cannot deliver the same amount of physical work as done by the men. Now, this raises the question, why should women be paid the same as that of a man? In sports, for example, let's take professional baseball. There, only few women are qualified for that level, for that game, because they are not able to deliver the same amount of physical amount of work. So why should they be paid the equal amount as that of men? Isn't that where discrimination is happening? Now, moving on to military, you will see that in many of the countries, women are not allowed for applying in military courses, in military fields, because again that question comes, the same amount of physical work. Men are provided to deliver better physical work because of their physical fitness, because they are more tend to do manual labor and other things as compared to women, because their body is not made in the same way as that of a man. And also we can see in Bollywood this same thing can be seen. And if you're watching a movie, let's say you're watching an action movie like the Marvel, for example, you will see there that the amount of male superhero is much more in a bigger quantity as compared to women. Why? Because men, they can do that physical tough action scene as compared to a woman. In that way also, if we're talking about stunt man or any other things, we will see that women can perform better as compared to a woman. In that cases, I think it is really true that women should not be paid as that of a man. 50%, that's fine. Why? Because in many of these things, we can see that women are kindly behind. Plus, they are also, it comes the question of their physical fitness, and women, they are unable to do these things. So there are also, and if we're talking about today's industrial development, women do not have the same time as that of a man. Men, they can work as many hours as they can, or can perform a better delivery in that case. With this, I conclude my speech. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, LP10. Let's call LP11.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am LP11, and my topic is that the Hitler's decision to gas the Jews should be justified, and I support that because, in a way, if you look, then let me just get this straight: the Jews were being gassed so that the higher, the types of people at that point of time, which were then considered the Aryans, they would be thriving into this world and would be making it a better place. And why would that be at that point of time? Why did he think of that? Well, first of all, the Aryans were a bit more polished owing to the better facilities that they had compared to the Jews. So, of course, the outlook, the better visualization of the resources, even if there were tiny developments at that point of time, but there, those tiny developments in the technology and science could have been better exploited by the Aryans compared to the Jews, who had literally no outlook. They were surviving barely for their existence. So in that case, they should have been gassed. We should, just keep in mind that the horses, which are meant for just being roamed outside into the stations and all for barely earning money, should not be put up on the horse courses. So in a way, it was second of all, I rest my case, but not my stance. Thank you.
We'll wait for the next participant. You have almost 2 minutes. You can speak if you want.
Please show the next motion. The next motion is the government should enforce non-vegetarian food on every citizen of India.
Hello, this is LP12. The government should enforce non-vegetarian food on every citizen of India. Non-vegetarian food, as we all know, it is the best source of protein out there that we can find. Amino acids, vitamin B1, and everything that is required for the growth of our muscles in our body that help us grow and survive in this world. we get that all from we get all of that from meat and non-vegetarian food. India is a country. India is a holy. India is a. I'm sorry. India is a Hindu-dominated country, and in India there are many vegetarian people. And I believe that non-vegetarian food should be enforced in all of them. Vegans out there, their diet, it's expensive. Like for instance, if we go for like soy like meat, or as we substitutes for meat, then it is expensive, and it will definitely take a toll on the economy. And also, not every person would be able to afford that, and they will lack nutrition. Secondly, non-vegetarian food, it will give opportunity to the cattle herders, and also like the one who bring up meat and the meat sources, for they can sell meat and then they can help themselves, and the ones that are having meat can help. It will be proper nutrition for them. And I believe the government should enforce this so that it will help them in their GDP, and also non cattle from which we get the non-vegetarian items. I believe they can be used, and they will excrete, and then that can be used as fertilizers in the fields, and that will act as natural fertilizers, which will reduce the need for artificial fertilizers. And I guess that's a win-win for us. And non-vegetarian food, as I mentioned before, it will actually help in reducing the cost of the food that is consumed by vegans, like other yeah. Also, non-vegetarian food is kind of is more tasty and can be made in much more varieties. And well, humans can consume both vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Herbivores can't have a can have only grass and vegetables. So, and carnivores can consume only animals. So we humans can do both, and I believe that, I guess there's nothing wrong in consuming meat. And I believe that the government should enforce non-vegetarian food on every citizen of India and help itself out and make it better for everyone. I rest my case here.
Thank you. We'll move to the next participant, LP13, with the motion dowry should not be illegal.
Good afternoon to one and all present here, esteemed judges and my dear friends. Today, I'll be in the fore of the motion, dowry should not be illegal. Oh yes, I actually support this. Who don't want to become a provident fund? Me, who am studying in this institution, is actually becoming a future complete dowry for my husband or whomsoever I'll have. Next, dowry actually helps to establish a good married life for us. If I'll give dowry, then it will be profitable for the opposite husband, as well as my future husband can also ask help from me for his future studies, and I can equally help him. And this is what dowry is actually meant to be. It's not like if they ask you Mercedes or anything, then we are not able to affordable, but we must give something at least instead of that, where we can at least make them happy. If once we make the other person happy, they'll be actually thinking that yes, we do have some status in their house, or else at the end of the day they'll say that you haven't given us dowry. But for me, dowry is actually equally respectable to be given to the husband's house. For me, I'm studying today just because so that I can be as equal to my husband, and I can support him in his good times, bad times, and this can come to anybody's life in eventually or any moment. And that's why I support dowry should must be given, even if there are lots of things which are unable to be given from our side also. Dowry is actually profitable for the girls who are ugly actually, they because they can give a large amount of money from their parents or a girl itself, and they can be married to a good life. Not only this, their studies, higher education of their children can be also supported due to this dowry only. Today you'll say, oh my god, you are asking us a large amount of money. Tomorrow when there's the need of this money for your child only, who will support? None other than this dowry will only support. Slowly and gradually you'll feel the importance of this dowry within that moment of time. For example, if a poor boy has cracked government job and your girl is ready to marry to that guy, obviously everybody wants that my beta, like my son is having government job, what you can afford me, at least you can say that I can give you assurance that our worth will be equal to your government job's son. And that's why I hope that this money will slowly and gradually will not only profit the guy or my husband, it will also eventually be helpful for the children's future, as well as the properties or anything whatever they want. That's it. And at last I would like to end myself that dowry should not be illegal. That's Thank you.
Thanks a lot, LP13. We'll move to the next participant with the motion. This house will kill off the lowest class people in India in 18th century.
Hello everyone, LP14 here. My topic is this house will kill off the lowest class of people in the 18th century. We need to understand, first of all, let us understand why we need to do so, and who are these people of the lowest classes in the 18th century. So these are the ancestors of the people whom we call the SCs, STs, and OBCs today. These are also known as the Shudras. In our classical literature. So we need to understand that the people, the so-called SC, STs, and OBCs today are the uh, uh, descendants of all these lower caste people back in the 18th century. And back then, even before that, and even in the 18th century, these people did not have any access to education, and they always did the work for the people of the higher classes. They never had a good lifestyle, they never had a good education, and they were restricted to the lower rungs of the society. Always they were always financially poor, and even they did not have the mindset, or they did not have the ability to teach their children to be better than themselves, right? And that is why these people's upcoming generations of children have always been in the lower rungs forever. And and that is why they have not been able to develop any skills. So what happens is, uh, it is these SCST and OBC people for whom we have introduced reservation since independence, and it has been more than 60 years now. And still these people have all it is happening is that it is nowadays we are trying to abolish the concept of caste. But what is happening is, these people who are the descendants of these lower caste people are actually using this privilege of reservation to get into prestigious institutions and get jobs for a much lower cutoff. And it is like a privilege, it's like an easy weapon for them, which is why they are not coming out as skilled candidates for entering the market for developing to our society and the economy, and that is why these people are actually weeds which need to be rooted out from the society. So if this house decides to kill off the lowest class of people during the 18th century, this problem would never have been today in the first place, which we have of such people who are constantly like stopping the orders and affairs of the countries, and harassing ministers and MLAs and MP every day by conducting strikes and revolutions on the streets, demanding for equal and equal rights, although they have privileges which bring them out as underperforming citizens of the country. With that, I would like to rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you. We have the last speaker of this tournament, and the topic is cigarettes are a necessity in a society.
Why to be in a box? Why to build a wall around yourself? Why to think in a way which have been served by anyone? And why not to research your own? With these words, today myself, Pratyush Saran, once again present for you all via this stage of virtual Kronicle. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic. When I listened, when I see my topic, I was quite enthusiastic to speak about it. Smoking is something which is quite considered as a bad thing in the society's vision. First of all, when you search that why smoking is good, why smoking could be done, and why smoking on the health basis, why smoking is quite the necessity of the person, there are various aspects like smoking reduces the heart attack rate, smoking helps to reduce not to go to obesity, smoking quite help in not having a Parkinson's disease. But today, when I want to talk about it, I will go quite metaphorically. See, in today's world, whenever we see any movie, any web series or anything like that, what we are seeing is that smoking has been pretended or has been shown to you as a good fashion thing, and it is good because it defines various aspects of it. For example, a smoker we have been seen a very good intellect, a very moving forward person, and a very open-minded person. And it is in the true society also, a smoker is like that also only. His decision to smoke it also affects various aspects of it. In various aspects of this today's world, smoking can be done and is being going on in various good places, because as a standard mark set that whatever is happening is been I am the dominant person about here. So smoking, I think so, it's very quite granted as a big elite person which might help and which might be in a dominant society can help in a person. Lastly, smoking is something which I might consider a good thing, and in our society this has to be done. Everything and everyone has to taste everything, I think so. The society has to change. Our father and mother should and will understand the fact that our children or us might get some lease or might get some opportunity to try every kind of things, which includes smoking. And since the topic has not been given on other than smoking, I will go for drinking as well. So thank you very much for making me speak, and I here rest it.
Thank you. We have finally concluded the second round and the entire tournament of the Levitating Podium. Now, we would like to call our prestigious judge, Ashok Pradhan, to give us some wise words.
Thank you, Vikrant. And thanks, everybody. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to get associated with you. The topics chosen by you have been really great topics. And all of you spoke really well. The devils in you was really defending the topics given to you. While all of you were very comfortable in, defending things that conventionally we are not meant to defend. Some of you really sounded very confident, and that's a great way to defend things. I was seeing this topic like from homosexuality to British Raj to slavery to killing uh, lower caste people, and the way you people dependent were really really good. So I enjoyed listening to you all. So thanks for all that.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
So,
yes, 1 second. Yes, thank
okay.
you very much, sir. Sir, we would just like to get the scores, and so that meanwhile we will conclude the debate, and so that you can declare all the winners, the three winners of the tournament.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Yes, yes, the virtual dice is yours.
Okay. So, finally, I hereby would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the entire Chronicle family to place a record on a hearty thanks to today's judge, Mr. Ashok Pradhan, Chief Bureau, The Times of India. Sir, we are honored by your glorious presence. All the moderators and for the perfect logistics support and guidance that they have extended to all of us for the smooth going of Levitating Podium. Thanks a lot. I also extend my thanks to the very amazing participants of this event for their worthy enthusiasm and enormous cooperation in the organization of this event. Well, an event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling weeks ago. It requires planning and bird eye for the details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues of organizing committee of our Chronicle family who know their job and are result oriented. I cannot thank everyone for their involvement and their willingness on the completion of the task beyond their comfort zone. At last, before moving towards the results of this spectacular event, I would just like to mention the very words that winners are never quitters and quitters are never winners. Thanks a lot, everybody. Return over to you.
Thank you very much, Yash. We are now just tallying the marks, and we'll declare the result shortly over here only. Meanwhile, any one of you can come and share your feedback about the tournament. How did you find? How was your experience coming up with these topics?
I'd like to speak about that. So basically, in the previous round, I actually stated that I am going to be a vegan really soon, and then I guess it was intentionally put up against me. Like I had to defend non-vegetarian food, and that too, not just for myself, but then for all the citizens of the country. And yeah, I found it really fun, and it was really great, and I was really, really like amazed by all the participants here. They spoke really well. I am not that confident in when I speak, and then I usually stammer a lot. And but yeah, it was really great. I had some great exposure out here, and I am happy to be able to express in front of a lot of people here, and it was a great experience. And kudos to everyone. Everyone, I believe that everyone was really great.
Thank you so much. This is exactly what we want every participant to feel, right? To do something new, which is not done in any other classroom in the university. Any other participants want to share some feedback or review or something which we can do better?
I would like to, please, may I have a chance?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
sure.
See, like my topic was completely a boom for me, to be honest. Like dowry system is illegal, and I need to support it. And at that moment, I was like, what should I say? Being a girl, I'm studying right now, and one thing only came to my mind: why I'm studying. That's just because I can get a good job.
I can work and earn money and become a blank check to my future husband. That's it. So that was my point, and I was quite awestruck. Like those topics which were given to individually to others, like Harry Potter should be banned. I was like, oh my god! Like if this were me being a Harry Potter fan, I'm like, how can somebody defend this topic? But when the person spoke that some people, some children suicided, I felt very hard. Like it was completely like I didn't know that this fact actually, and I was quite amazed with all those points which were actually given by others. Like many new things we learned in this, and more innovative topics were also being today given. That's it. Thanks a lot. Thank you for conducting this sort of activities in KIT.
Thank you for participating. So
I
this is
also
a
want to
yeah,
speak.
yes,
I also
yes.
want to share my experience. First of all, I was the first participant of this, and I was so nervous. And no experience, nothing. And the topic was also great. The vaccine for coronavirus should not be made. I feel that the vaccine should be made, and it moves it as soon as possible. The vaccine should be made, but the topics it should not be made. So when I have to defend this topic, the innovative ideas came to my mind. How can I defend this topic, that vaccine? Because the vaccine is the basic necessity. It has become, but we cannot have vaccines soon, early. It might take 15 to 14 years sometimes to produce a vaccine. A vaccine which is completely free of side effects, adverse effects. So it was nice experience. Everybody has got very beautiful topics, and the dowry topic was very great. I find that every it was very nice experience. These events should be conducted frequently.
Yes, we'll try and try to conduct these tournaments more frequently. Anyone else?
Yeah, I just want to add one thing.
Yeah.
Since my topic was about cigarette thing, my father was just sitting beside me, and when I started speaking, he just gave a glance at me and just went out of my room. I have to see what happened there, but yeah, it was really really commendable about all the participants, and I really thank you for this. Thank you very much.
He's also going to become more acceptable about this then
Let's hope.
in the near future.
Yeah, so
So this is
Vikrant,
what,
We
yes.
appreciate your views.
is this an annual event that you are holding every year, Devil's Advocate?
So this is the first time we are conducting this tournament, the Levitating Podium. But Devil's Advocate as a separate event has been conducted, but not regularly. But now we are making sure that it can be conducted regularly.
Topics are really nice.
Yes, sir. Our team has put in a lot of effort to give you really good topics and make it interesting. Even though we are living in a virtual world right now, we just wanted to have some fun and make people think about the situation we are in.
Great job, great job.
Thank you. This goes to all the team members, the OC team.
Hi, my name is Devarun, and I was not a participant, I was an audience. I am a former member of Chronicle as a society. I'm a pass out. And I was the coordinator last year, and it's fun seeing new faces participating and uh, taking an interest in what we do. It's nice seeing that, and I'm happy to see that people did not run away from Devil's Advocate essentially, because Devil's Advocate is something that not everyone is comfortable.
All right, Deprinbia, it seems like you're having
You're
uh,
thinking,
mic
yeah.
issues, lag issues.
Oh no. Uh, Hello, can you guys?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Hello. I'll keep it short. Let's keep it short. I'm taking too much time. So yeah, it was fun seeing everyone participate, and just my entire point is, in future, don't run away from devil's advocates. Try to participate in as many as possible. It will only help you develop your logic. That's it.
Thank you so much. Now, the results are going to be out in just 2 or 3 minutes. Meanwhile, I would like to conclude by saying that this activity has made you think so much that you don't regularly think about, right? The things that you seem to have no sense or would be so illogical to have, yet when you're thinking right now, you seem to know that, okay, there's even a good side in the bad things that are done in the world, right? There are things which seem made you think that something is illogical and why would anyone do that? When you put your foot in the same shoes, you realize that, okay, this is something I have never seen from this perspective. This is a new facet that I'm seeing. So this is exactly what our society does. It improves your critical thinking, it improves your higher order thinking skills, and makes a personality out of you which can showcase what is your kind of perspective and how you can persuade other people into believing your own opinions. And even if you don't believe in those opinions, it makes you a person that can show that how strong or how confident your views and can be portrayed to others. So by this, I would like the the tabs team to make sure that the results are being sent to Mr. Ashok Pradhan, our judge, and he can announce the top three winners.
I hope this is the result that is in front of me. This in the Google Sheet.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So.
Sir, just give me a minute. Sir, just 1 minute.
Okay.
Yes, now it is on WhatsApp. Sir, you can go ahead.
Right. So the winners are. I'll start from the third position. It goes to Adrita Ray Chaudhary.
Thank
You spoke on dowry should not be illegal.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The second position goes to Milan Kumari Panda.
Thank you, sir.
Here, here.
Congratulations to you also. And the topper, Mr. Anmol Raj. Wanted to say very
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
So that's from my side.
Thank you so much, sir. Congratulations to all the winners over here. You'll receive your participation certificate and your certificate for winning as soon as possible. And we can end this virtual dice over here right now. If you have any questions further, we can move it to an informal structure where you can ask us about our society and how you can get into it. Meanwhile, sir, thank you so much for coming and by gracing us with your presence and giving us such valuable words.